do a worker off on this again, but and then we could get back in the sprayer and take it back to the other yard, of course. This won't take long for a worker to finish off, but giving it a little bit of room at each end to turn around is probably going to help him a little. Back window doesn't look very clean. Front window looks pristine. Yeah, that window.
I sorted everything.
Okay, that's that bit. So we'll swing around. I will get that dropped, and then we'll stick a worker. And we can go back to this tractor. So 421 litres of herbicide left in the tanks. And we are going to have to spray all of the barley fields we planted today when the weeds start growing. I think this job, we'll call this one done. What's that field in front? Oh, that field needs mulch. Does it? Or did I do that? I think I did that. It hasn't been planted. It's confusing. Okay. Get this back to the yard. We'll get the manure wagon. That field has been planted. It hasn't been rolled, I think. Yes, that's the last field to be rolled. That field hasn't been manured, so I might do that. Oh, does it need lime as well? Oh, that would be awesome. So I'm just going to stick again. We're not going to put anything away. So before we go back, we got 8,000 litres of manure. I guess we'll spread what we have and then go and get some more. Actually, back up, I had I got a feeling. This field had full, oh, this is good manure, good pH, perfect nitrogen. We do not need to do anything in this field except plant in it. Okay. Was it the field with the rocks in needs lime and manure?
This is game of Wilmot and boy of candy.
So, if I get this tractor out of the way, what else do I have to do with this tractor?
Candy fight, whoever loses then gets eaten.
I am so losing it. That field needs rolled. I only have one roller.
What did you say?
This field needs lime and nitrogen. They top up nitrogen. So what I will do is we'll take this back to the yard. We will just leave it next to the manure heap. Spreader is still spreading. So the doits can go back on the seeder, and as I said, we'll plant some canola in that highly over-nitrogenated field. Which also doesn't need on it. So I will leave that there, so that is in a perfect place for next time. Oh well. Now, how's about we put this thing away? Because again, it doesn't need to do anything. I need to lift the rocks on this field. So that's going to have to be done probably off camera. I hate rocks.
Hey, are these gumballs or not?
And the thing is I could turn off rocks. It won't make any difference because all the fields that we buy on this map have rocks in.
Because I don't think these are gumballs.
So the only way I could do anything about the rocks on the fields that I don't own is to buy some rock. Use the Easy Development Toolkit to remove them all. I mean, we're fairly careful not to create rocks on any of our fields. Okay, you can just back into there, and we're happy.
This is hole. I don't think it's gumballs now. I can make
That's
some
done
of these gumballs though.
Okay.
It's called gum and
So,
powder.
let's drop that. Oh, how about we start the engine? Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. So, field work is progressing. Like I said, the thing with our farm is we've got, I kind of feel a very short window to get stuff planted, but we've got a very long window to get all the other things done. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I am changing that to canola, and we're going to plant that field across the road. And you're going? Yes, you are. So that's going to be canola 2. But you can see here it's going to be a lot easier for me to figure out where to go because
So tomorrow we are gonna
the
make
contrast
all
in
these
texture
still
is that much
plastic,
bigger.
even
So
though
when we come back, because the worker thinks they're finished and they've missed some bits, it's going to be absolutely obvious which bits they missed. You are now done. That's good. Let's turn the engine back on. So let us zoom out, have a look at fields that need to be rolled. Oh, need to be rolled. Okay, we have 3 fields need to be rolled. We have all of the fields have been mulched except that one there. Like I said, rocks. And seeding is, that field has not been seeded. Hold on. That field I want oats in. And I think that's ready. Okay. pH. This field needs pH. That field has, we have kind of sufficient, we got to spray that. We got to spray that. Got to spray all of the fields. So nitrogen. This field needs, no, this field needs nitrogen. That's the only one we've got. These fields, they're kind of getting there. That's probably why we've got a low score. Yield, don't care. Oh, pH, sorry. pH, that field needs pH. Okay, nitrogen, depends on the crop in them. So we are going to be spraying all of the fields that got planted. There's bits missed there, there's bits missed there. But when we go back to here, we have this field is being planted, this field has not been planted, this field still needs preparation. Okay, we're getting the picture straight. So then we have all of the fields have been mulched except that one.
Yeah,
And then many of the fields need rolled. This field needs to be rolled over here. We've got a couple of lobs on the end there, and that bit over there. Okay, then I want seeded fields. Oh. Right. So that field needs to be rolled. That field will need to be rolled. Then we can start planting this field and doing all of the crap in that field some other time. Okay.
What does FLPC?
I think I know what I'm doing. And then that field and that field need to be sprayed for fertilizer. All of the fields need to be sprayed for fertilizer, except maybe this one, not this one. The one that we're planting canola in because it just has too much. Okay, so I am thinking again, there are some unplanted bits here, which is basically why they're not registering, or they're still registering as needs rolled, because I can't roll them because there's nothing in them. So, oh well. We will run down here, get this corner done, and then we can take the roller across the road and roll the other stuff that we did. See, there's another patch of, I think, ground I missed planting stuff in. Gonna need to figure something out with the way we're doing this, because the contrast between we've got manure on the field and we've got seeds in the field is just way too close for me to see visually, unless I'm way over here looking way over there and I can see patches of where we haven't been. I mean, I guess in the big scheme of things, it's not a huge deal because, you know, we plant what we plant, we harvest what we harvest. It is what it is, and you know, the yield will be the yield. But anyway, is that it? Yes, we did get that bit. Okay. So a little crescent moon, and we are done rolling this field. Then we have to wait for all the fields to grow.
You know that means dead.
Okay, lift that up, fold it. We'll stay stationary while it folds. Let the hydraulics do their hydraulicking and get moved over. So, field across the way is the next one. Then,
I feel that would definitely need more.
so yes, yeah, I bought, a lot of people seem to call them bubbles. I think I tend to call them spirit levels, but they have a bubble in them. You put them on a flat surface and it will tell you if it's flat or not by where the bubble is in the tube.
I wouldn't wait past that
Now,
egg, Mary.
in this situation I have an electronic one which
I'm gonna try one.
will tell you when you're flat, but it also gives you a fairly accurate indication of exactly what angle
Don't smell it.
if it's not flat. Now, for most people's purposes, you want flat. You want flat or you want vertical. You don't want an angle most of the time. However, if you're building model railroads, you sometimes want an angle, or not flat, not level.
These are delicious.
And the reason you might want that is because you're building a slope on your tracks, and you want a certain gradient that you know your model trains can climb up and down with a decent load on the back, because obviously you make the gradient too steep and your model train is not going to haul the load up it, and if you make it too shallow you won't necessarily clear what you want. And if it's uneven, trains can have a little bit of a problem going, when the gradient keeps changing. So if you know you want a 2% grade, which I think works out as a 1 in 50, what you then need to do is basically put your level down and then adjust your flat surface until it all reads 2%. And then you screw it in place. And then you know your tracks are going to be aren't going to be undulating, so it's not going to be a roller coaster. But you are going to have a fairly precise measurement of how steep the gradient is. So that's why I bought it. Plus it works for putting pictures up level and what have you. And I'm not sure if this one actually has a beeper on it, but what you can do is put it on something and then be away from it and adjusting the level of it, and when it hits 0 it'll beep. As I said, I don't know if mine has a beeper, but some of them have a beeper so that you can actually do the job as a one-person job, because all you have to do is let it tell you when it's flat, even if you can't see the bubble. And that was part of the problem I was having Thursday. I was trying to get my bench work level, and so I had Mrs. Osa and Teenage Osa assisting with that, so that at least somebody was able to see the bubble while the rest of us were adjusting the level. But I will see about that later. That still is a nice field of soybeans. Where are they? Okay. Oh, that's the field next to the grocery store, where I buy all my stuff when I'm hungry. Well, so again, it hasn't been harvested yet. It might actually be a harvest-ready field. But again, when buying fields, I'm kind of liking buying fields with soybeans in. Although I then change my mind because I can always adjust the nitrogen levels on a field.
But I'm gonna go down the hill.
Even if the field has a crop in it, because you can go out and spray the field and top it off. It's just that soybeans don't care about nitrogen, so you can buy the field and it's already best environmental score for the field. I didn't go far enough, did I? Well, that's unfortunate. Let's back this off anyway. Boop. And off we go. I mean, I'm kind of doing okay. What I'm trying to do here is create a headland so that when we put a worker in this tractor, it will not have too many issues finishing off the job. I'm certainly finding that we seem to be having somewhat less of a problem with the far edge of the field on a worker. When we first set up this field, the problem was that because pretty much everything north of where the tractor is at the moment was trees, we chopped down all the trees and then we ploughed the field to make it all arable. And the first year we were just having so much grief with arableness of the field. But we seem to have somewhat fixed that. Okay. Lower that back down and we will try and make that edge all done. There you go. Now, shall we just go over here? And again, we're seeing patches of ground where it's not rolled because there's no seed in the ground. So that's me and problems identifying contrast. So maybe, and I've said this in the past, it doesn't matter if we lime every harvest or every third harvest. It's not going to create a great difference in yield. So maybe what I should do is put the manure down and then spread lime and then seed the field, because I will see the contrast between the lime and where the seed is going. So if there's any white spots on the field, that needs to be reseeded, or that needs to be part of the stuff I do to even it all off. What are we doing? Who's doing what? You are doing. Okay, so you are doing this, because here it's easy to see those yellow patches. And it's just as easy to see the lime patches. So that field's the one that needs the lime. Oh dear. So, considerations. The Massey's doing the rolling. This is doing some seeding. I don't have anything better to do now. But I can't mow the other grass. Well, you know what? Maybe I could mow the other grass. Push that button. Turn that on. Let's go attach the mowers and do some mowing. How about that? Now, we are... Oh, I put the grain cart away. I'm stupid. Okay, we are... That's a lot of... What am I saying? We need to cut. Okay, we're going to be making wrapped bales here. So it's due to rain later today, but frankly, doesn't really matter. If it does or not, we are able to mow this, leave it on the ground. We will row it. I do know in real life some farmers will ted the grass once before they roll it. Before they bale it and wrap it, just so that there's less moisture in it. Kind of not worried about that right now. So let's get this unfolded. Try not to crash into the hedge. Oh, and the last thing we did with this is hay. Hey. Let us. I'll back off all the way. Well, most of the way. Okay, how do I change the swath? Control Y. That worked. Okay, good. Lower that. Jump to the front. Lower that. Unfold it. And turn it on. Forwards and switch the back back up and turn the rear motors on. Let's get it. Oh, I didn't turn the conditioner on, which is Z without conditioner 10. With conditioner, front mower with conditioner. Always forget that. Oh, Turn that off and we should get a nice stack of okay, I didn't do the front line properly. And yes, I kind of figured that was going to happen. So, all the mowers need to be outputting the same conditioned level of grass, and unfortunately we didn't do that when we started, so we got a very narrow or very small swath of very small swath of unconditioned grass there. Now let's get that lined up. And again, we will turn on GPS. Auto width 10.23 meters, set a 0 degrees back. GPS is on. And we have a little bit of a mess in each corner while we're doing this, but that will fix itself as it goes, and we are catching a little bit along the edge. So, normally I would be doing a follow me here and having one of our other two tractors following me around baling things up so that I don't have to worry about it. Unfortunately, all my tractors are busy and I don't have a spare one. So, we're going to do this the hard way. So, we're going to run along the top here. And back it up.